Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Cult Vault podcast. I'm at CrimeCon this week, so I've decided to throw an episode together, give you an idea of what you might experience if you attend CrimeCon, or what you might have seen if you're here this weekend. If you weren't able to make CrimeCon, then on the 27th of September, we will be in Manchester, and Manchester is promising to be another incredible event. You can visit crimecon.co.uk and use the code CULT, C-U-L-T, to get 10% off your tickets and visit the UK's biggest true crime event. I created a little game for people to play, and while anyone who came to the table had a go, I also asked a few of the content creators to give it a try, and this is how it went down.
What are we doing?
We are going to, I don't have an episode to release for tomorrow, so this is me making one right.
Oh, right, okay, good.
Hello, Sarah Ferris from Conning the Con and Stop the Killing and Clueless and the producer watching TV.
Well done.
So you are the pod queen,
Oh, I'll take that.
and I'm going to ask you to join me in a game of red flag, grab bag.
Oh my gosh, I'm loving the
Makes it
standard four, as we would call it, school
Yeah.
red flaggy. Right? Yes, you can't. They can't see what I'm talking about.
No, I'll put a picture on
Yeah.
social media. So, in this bag, there are lots of different statements, and you need to give each statement a danger rating from 1 to 10. 1 is low and 10 is high. There's no right or wrong answer, it's whatever you think.
Okay. Here we go. Number 9. If you leave, everything we taught you will fall apart. That's a high rating for me.
Yeah.
So 10 being high.
1 is low, 10 is high, yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a 10 because I don't really think there's anything in between for me. If I see a red flaggy statement, it's immediately a 10. So I can't gradiate it in.
That's perfect.
Yeah, no,
No further explanation needed.
I'm very black and white like that.
Well, thank you very much.
It's fun. I like that. I mean, it's not fun, but it is fun. Thank you.
Oh, okay, this looks interesting. We are at the Soul table at CrimeCon UK. I'm going to hand this over. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself?
Of course, I'm Shib, and this is Adam, which is Malfoy.
Shiv and Adam. Adam's in the middle of eating something.
Yeah, so we're the co-founders of a company called Bonus Round, and we make crime games. So this is a new game called Solve. Literally launched today.
Wow.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. And in this game, you play detective. So there's hundreds of cases, and what you do is, through an interactive experience, interrogate suspects. So you can literally ask them any question that you like. And then after you've interrogated all 4 suspects, you get to choose who you think did it. And that's the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure, because if you get it wrong, do you get to go back and... Okay.
Yeah.
You do get the whole picture, even if you get the answer.
Yeah. Obviously, they can't see it, but I'll show you. So here you go. Here's the cases. Here's the case. Some evidence. And the suspect. So let's choose this chap. There's Devin. You can ask him anything. So let's say, what did you have for breakfast?
Okay.
Nothing to do with the crime, but he'll then say, I didn't really eat breakfast. And each character has their own personality and
That
outlook.
is cool. It looks really polished as well. It looks like a really satisfying app.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm here playing a game of Red Flag Grab Bag.
Okay.
So what we do with Red Flag Grab Bag, we are going to fish out a statement from this bag, and on this statement, it will be a red flag statement that you have to determine the danger level of that statement. So 1 is low, 10 is high. You can give that statement a number, but there's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you think.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It says, you should be grateful we're even letting you be here. I'm going to give that a 4. Feels a bit aggressive, but context dependent, right?
Right. That's what a lot of people have said. I think that's important.
Yeah, because you could just be, I don't know, you could be at an event that you weren't invited to, but they've let you sneak in and they said you're lucky you're here.
Yeah.
Or you could have murdered someone, though, and they're like, you're lucky you're involved in this. because we were going to murder you as well. I don't know.
Oh gosh. Okay, so you really have gone 1 to 10 there, really.
Well, I'm going to stick to 4. I'm going to stick to 4.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Adam, would you like a turn?
Everyone outside this group is toxic. I don't know. I feel that is pretty toxic itself. I'd maybe say like a 6.
Oh, okay. Fine. I think context dependent again, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. But I feel that, I don't know, those kind of statements normally come from some kind of
Yeah.
childhood trauma, goes into toxic area. I don't know.
It's interesting. I like just watching everybody's thoughts go around as they try and think of a number. Brilliant. Thank you both so much. Thank you. So I'm here at my table and I'm sitting next to Aaron from Generation Y, one of the oldest true crime podcasts. And I'm also sitting next to the host of Dig Up Your Mam. It's an incredible podcast. If you haven't had a listen, I highly recommend it. It's the story of Northumbria's longest missing person case. On the Saturday, I spent the day networking, chatting with guests, and learning so much about the true crime world and people working on the front lines and at the forefront of some of Britain's most notorious cold cases, and those who are pushing to change legislation to create a safer country. On the Sunday, I was then lucky to introduce a session. It was called It All Started at Pinkerton's. And hello, good morning everybody. My name is Casey and I am the host of the Cult Vault podcast, which is an interview-based show where I talk with survivors of cults and extremism. You can find my table out the front. Please come and have a chat. Welcome to day 2 of our amazing lineup of discussions, deep dives and discoveries into the world of true crime. We're starting as we mean to go on today with groundbreaking conversations. Our first session is led by renowned private investigator Ali Marsh, as she uncovers the remarkable story of the first female detective at the legendary Pinkerton Agency. This session dives into the trailblazing career that helped shape modern criminal investigations and opened the door for women like Ali in the field. Please welcome Ali Marsh for It All Started at Pinkerton. Ali was incredible. She was so funny and she has had an incredible career as a private investigator. She has a book coming out soon, so if you'd be interested in learning more about being a female private investigator in England, then you can pick up her book in August, and that is Ali Marsh. She was so witty and so funny. She had the crowd roaring with laughter. It was wonderful. Later on today, I will be presenting a panel on the psychology of coercive control with Maya Badham, who has been on the podcast before, talking about safeguarding animals against abuse, and the legendary Laura Richards from the Crime Analyst podcast. Laura Richards was instrumental in getting coercive control criminalised in the UK, and I'm so excited to introduce and take part in that panel. Hello, can I give you this microphone? We're playing a game of Red Flag, Grab Bag.
Hi.
And who am I playing with today?
Emma.
Emma. Hi, Emma.
Hello.
In this bag, there are lots of different red flag statements.
Okay.
And I'm asking everybody to fish a statement out, give it a read, and then give it a danger rating. 1 is low, 10 is high, but there's no right or wrong answer.
Okay. We'll help you grow, but first you need to trust us blindly. Okay? We'll help you grow, but first you need to trust us blindly.
Ooh, what do you think, Emma?
I'd say it's fairly low, a 4.
Yeah? Yeah? I think it depends who's saying it and where they're saying it, doesn't it?
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm actually just reading this book at the moment. It sort of really does depend on perspective. As a parent of someone, of a child that's been murdered, to have that as a forgiveness. But if it's coming from the other side, we didn't do it, you need to trust us. Yeah, that's a whole different view.
Oh, it is. But if that was the context, would you give it a 10? Yeah. Without thinking.
Without hesitation.
10, yeah. Okay, brilliant. Thank you so much. Hi. I'm standing with Murder Mike, and I'm going to ask him to play Red Flag Grab Bag with me, where you fish out a statement from the bag, and then you give the statement a danger rating from 1 to 10. 1 is low and 10 is high, but there's no right or wrong answer, so it's whatever you think it should be rated at.
Okie dokie, I'm going into the bag. I'm having a little fondle in the bag. Ooh, I have pulled out, as I said at the awards the other night, do not give a dyslexic something to read out. So, you're imagining things that didn't happen. Okay, 1 to 10.
1 is low, 10 is high.
Imagining things that didn't happen. It's dangerous, isn't it? Because a sense of reality is kind of key to everything we do. So I would put it quite high, like an 8, easily. Because if you can't trust your senses, what can you trust?
Well, people that just want you to follow them without question, I suppose. Yeah, tough one. 8, thank you very much.
Really? Ooh, okay, thank you very much. I enjoyed playing. Do you want to know anything about canal boats?
Hi, I'm standing with Stu from British Murders, and we're going to play Red Flag Grab Bag, where you fish out a statement from the bag, and you give it a danger rating. 1 is low, 10 is high. But there's no right or wrong answer, so it's whatever you think the statement should be.
Then it's my because 10 is the highest.
Yeah, and it's the highest in this game.
Friends.
Oh.
So, it says, don't tell others what we discuss in private sessions. So, don't tell it. That's a red flag. If someone said that to me, don't tell others what we discuss. From a spouse or what?
Up to you. I mean, there's no context associated with it, so it's whatever you think you would rate it up.
I mean, if I told that to my doctor, yeah, that'd be fine. Don't tell others what we discuss in private sessions. That implies that I've told someone something from a private session there. I need context, man.
Okay, what about if I said to you that you're hearing it in the workplace?
In the workplace. Yeah, that was probably maybe 6 or a 7.
What if your partner said it to you?
1, 2.
What if you heard it down at the pub?
So, context depending, that's low again, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to hear what people say.
I mean, if it's your spouse, though, you keep your own stuff private, don't you? If it's someone down the pub, it's probably a load of bollocks. And if it's someone at work, then yeah, that could be
Yeah, a little bit
naughty.
naughty. Thank you very much, Stu.
You're welcome. What, I'll put that back in?
Put that back in there, and then I'm going to pass the microphone over to Adam. Hi, Adam. So now I'm with Adam from UK True Crime, and we're going to play Red Flag Grab Bag. So I'm sure you know the rules at this point.
If you quit, you'll ruin your future. 7.
Any reasons why?
I suppose it's just the word quit. I suppose if it said, if you leave me, I'd give it a 10.
Okay.
The word quit is quite ubiquitous. What are you quitting? That's the only reason why. But anyone that says you'll ruin your future makes those judgments about you. That's never a good thing.
No, I agree. 7 is a solid number. Thank you very much, Stu. So, this is the True Crime Enthusiast, and we're going to play Red Flag Grab Bag. Inside this bag, there are loads of different red flag statements, and if you fish one out and give it a read, and then a rating from 1 to 10, the danger rating is 1 being low, 10 being high. So how would you rate that if you heard that?
Crying means you're still resisting the truth. I think that's like 4 or 5, I would think.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah, definitely.
I think some people have said it depends where you hear it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it does.
If you heard that, if you overheard a couple having an argument and somebody said that to the other one, I think they'd be a bit...
I think you would, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Would you give it a different number if you heard it in that context?
Yeah, I probably would, actually. I'd probably go about 7 or 8 then.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
We were asked to prepare 2 case studies to look at in our specialist fields around coercive control. First of all, I chose Nexium. Nexium, founded by Keith Raniere, was marketed as a self-help and professional development organisation, but functioned as a highly manipulative cult. Under the surface, It operated through coercive tactics such as financial and emotional abuse, psychological manipulation, isolation and control. Within a secretive subgroup called DOS, women were recruited into a hierarchical master slave system, branded with Ranieri's initials, and coerced into sexual acts under threat of blackmail, using collateral like nude photos or damaging secrets to control these women further. These behaviours reflect a clear pattern of coercive control, where a person uses fear, humiliation and dominance to strip another of autonomy and agency. Despite the absence of coercive control laws in most states in the US, Ranieri was convicted in 2019 on charges including racketeering, sex trafficking, forced labour conspiracy and possession in child pornography. These are often referred to as RICO laws. So he was sentenced in 2020 to 120 years in prison. The case demonstrates how existing laws can address parts of coercive behaviour, but only when it escalates to more tangible crimes like human trafficking. Had coercive control been recognised as a standalone criminal offence, it might have allowed for earlier intervention, similar prosecution, and a more direct acknowledgement of the psychological abuse that his victims endured. The second case study that I picked is a more local one that some of you from the UK may have heard about from the BBC documentary A Very British Cult. The Lighthouse International Group, founded by Paul Waugh, initially marketed itself as a life coaching and mentoring organisation, but has since been exposed as a coercive and manipulative group. Following investigations by the Insolvency Service in the UK High Court, shut down the business in March 2023 in the public interest, citing misleading financial accounts and a lack of cooperation. Between 2014 and 2022, Lighthouse reportedly received over £2.4 million without declaring assets or income. It was later found that most of this money was funneled into a bank account that belonged to Paul Waugh. Despite the dissolution of the company, members rebranded under Lighthouse Global Media, with Waugh and other key figures fleeing the country and relocating abroad and resisting court orders to hand over financial records. In March 2025, an arrest warrant was issued for Sean Cooper, one of Lighthouse's directors, for failing to attend court hearings or cooperate with ongoing investigations. This marks the first direct legal action against an individual leader of the group. The exposure brought by the BBC documentary A Very British Cult was pivotal in the group's public downfall, rather than any criminal prosecution under coercive control laws. In the UK, current legislation only criminalises coercive control in intimate or familial contexts, leaving a significant legal gap when such psychological abuse occurs within groups or organisations. The Lighthouse case highlights the urgent need to expand coercive control laws to recognise and criminalise abuse in collective or institutional settings. So I will be doing my panel and bringing these two case studies forward, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the case studies that both Maya and Laura will choose to discuss in their segments of the panel. So this is a bit of a mishmash episode, and although it's not a typical episode or a traditional Cult Vault episode, I do hope you will find it interesting to hear about the types of things that we get up to here over the weekend. I will be back as normal next week, and I'm really looking forward to CrimeCon in September on the 27th in Manchester. I hope some of you will be able to make it, and do let me know if there was a content creator that appeared at CrimeCon this year whose content you are interested in, because I've managed to pick up some goodies along the way, and I'd be happy to share some of that with you. Badges and bookmarks and stickers and pens. And a lot of people this year have even brought homemade baked goodies to leave on their tables. The atmosphere is bustling, and we have another fun-filled, packed day ahead of us before I head home, and the weekend is over, just like that. I'm Casey, host of the Cult Vault podcast.